We're heading to the park for a sunny day adventure with our favorite ginger cockapoo, the one and only Biscuit. It's a beautiful, bright day, and the park is buzzing with happy energy. Birds are singing, the sun is shining, and Biscuit is ready for some fun. Suddenly, his big, curious eyes light up. What does he see? A shiny, red Frisbee soaring through the air like a UFO. It glides and dips, catching the sunlight, and Biscuit knows exactly what he has to do. With a joyful little woof and his fluffy tail wagging so fast it looks like a blur, he takes off. He dashes across the fresh green grass, a furry, ginger rocket on a mission. The Frisbee swoops down, and Biscuit leaps into the air, his paws outstretched, ready to make the catch of a lifetime. But just as he's about to grab it, whoop, the Frisbee bounces off the ground and shoots up into the sky again. That's so close. Biscuit doesn't give up. Oh no, he's more determined than ever. He lands with a soft thud and is back on his paws in a flash. The Frisbee zigs, so Biscuit zags. It weaves round a big oak tree, and Biscuit follows, his paws skidding on the grass as he makes a sharp turn. He's a little whirlwind of fur and excitement. Now, Biscuit isn't the only one who thinks this chase looks like fun. His best park pals are watching from the sidelines. First, there's Pip the squirrel, who chatters excitedly from a branch. Then, there's Lily the rabbit, twitching her nose from behind a bush. And of course, there's Chirpy the little blue bird, who flutters down to get a better view. They see Biscuit having the time of his life, and they can't resist joining in. As the Frisbee sails over a checkered picnic blanket, Biscuit doesn't even slow down. He takes a running leap, flying gracefully over sandwiches and juice boxes, much to the surprise of the family enjoying their lunch. He lands perfectly on the other side, still hot on the Frisbee's tail. Pip the squirrel scurries down the tree and starts hopping alongside Biscuit, trying to predict where the Frisbee will land. The chase gets even wilder. The Frisbee swoops low, right over a tiny, muddy puddle left over from last night's rain. Does Biscuit stop? Not a chance. Splash! He runs right through it, sending a glorious spray of mud flying in every direction. Now he's not just a ginger cockapoo, he's a polka-dotted one. Mud splatters on his nose, his ears, and all over his fluffy coat. He just shakes his head, sending droplets flying, and keeps on running, a happy, muddy grin on his face. Lily the rabbit, seeing all the commotion, decides to help. She starts hopping ahead, trying to head off the Frisbee, her long ears flopping with every bounce. Chirpy the bird flies up high, tweeting directions from above. It's going left, Biscuit, to the left. But in all the excitement, their help just adds to the silly chaos. Lily hops right into Pip's path, and they do a little tumble roll together before getting back up, giggling in their own animal way. This whole scene is becoming the park's main attraction. People are laughing and pointing at the ridiculous parade. A muddy dog, a dizzy squirrel, a bouncy rabbit, and a chirping bird, all in hot pursuit of one very tricky Frisbee. The funniest moment comes when the Frisbee heads straight for a giant pile of autumn leaves that the park keeper had raked up. Biscuit, with his eyes locked on his prize, doesn't see the leafy mountain until it's too late. Whoosh! He dives headfirst into the pile, disappearing completely. For a second, everything is still. Then, the leaves start to wiggle and pop. Biscuit's head emerges, covered in red and yellow leaves. He looks like a little autumn monster. He shakes his head, sending leaves flying everywhere, and with a determined bark, gets back into the chase. But the Frisbee isn't done playing tricks. It bounces off the path and ricochets right off a low park bench or bunk. Biscuit, trying to follow its unpredictable path, doesn't quite make the turn and bounces gently off the other end of the bench. Boing! He does a little, unplanned somersault on the grass, landing with a soft oof before scrambling back to his feet, totally unfazed. His tail is still wagging, of course. The chase continues. Biscuit is a blur of motion. He spins in a circle mid-air, trying to snatch the Frisbee, looking like a furry ballerina. He skids to a halt, slides across the grass on his belly, and almost gets it. But the Frisbee just teasingly floats away at the last second. His friends are still trying to help, but they mostly just get in the way. Adding to the hilarious spectacle, Pip tries to climb a lamppost to get a better angle, and Chirpy the bird tries to nudge the Frisbee with his beak, which only makes it fly in an even funnier direction. Then, the moment of truth seems to arrive. The Frisbee finally slows down and lands gently, perfectly balanced on top of a picnic basket. Success! Biscuit sees his chance. He slows down, gets into a stealthy crouch, and wiggles his backside like he's about to pounce on his favorite toy. He creeps forward, step by careful step. He's so close, he can almost taste it. He takes a final, mighty leap. But just as his paws touch the basket, the lid pops open slightly, acting like a tiny catapult. The Frisbee is launched back into the air, flying in a completely new, unexpected direction. Biscuit lands on the basket, confused, looking round. Where did it go? He sees it soaring over his head, and with a sigh, the chase is back on. He's getting a little tired now, panting with his tongue hanging out, but his spirit is as high as ever. The sun is starting to set, casting a golden glow over the park. It's been a long, exciting chase. The Frisbee makes one final, lazy arc through the air, seeming to float down in slow motion. This is it. This is the one. Biscuit gathers all his remaining energy. He runs, he leaps, his eyes wide with focus. His paws reach out, and he's got it. He clamps his mouth gently round the edge of the Frisbee. Victory! He has finally caught it. But the momentum of his epic final leap is a little too much. As he lands with the Frisbee securely in his mouth, he starts to tumble. He rolls over and over on the soft grass, a flurry of fur, paws, and bright red plastic. He rolls right into the pile of leaves again, and right on top of Chirpy the bird, who had landed to see the final catch. Chirpy lets out a surprised little tweet and flutters out from under a leaf, completely unharmed but very confused. Biscuit finally comes to a stop, lying on his back in a heap of leaves, legs in the air, with the Frisbee still proudly in his mouth. He's covered in mud, decorated with leaves, and panting happily. He lets out a muffled woof of triumph. He did it! He rolls over, shakes himself one more time, and trots back to his friends, his tail wagging the whole way. Lily the rabbit and Pip the squirrel gather round, chattering and sniffing at the victorious, messy hero. Biscuit proved that sometimes the silliest, messiest, most chaotic chase can be the most fun. An ordinary day at the park had turned into the most hilarious adventure ever. All thanks to one very persistent cockapoo and his runaway Frisbee. And that's the story of Biscuit's great Frisbee chase. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as he did. What a silly, lovable dog. Thanks so much for watching with us today. If you love Biscuit's adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next story. See you all soon. Bye.